victims rising from a staggering 700% in the last year.
Smishing is where cybercriminals use fraudulent text messages and even actors on phone calls to trick you into giving them access to your bank account. But how do you protect yourself against this type of fraud?
Well, Alice Beer has been looking into us. I mean, 700%, that's an extraordinary rise, isn't it?
It is the fastest growing fraud in the UK. Banks and the Financial Conduct Authority are very, very well aware of it. We need to be well aware of it, because if it doesn't happen to you, it's going to happen to someone you love, and it is malicious, it is devious, and it has huge effects.
How do they do it?
All the millions, I've just explained, of all the millions that went out in smishing attacks last year, only 42% of money went back into people's accounts.
Right. God.
So that is your warning. This is how they do it. So smishing is a combination of SMS, as in text, and phishing for information. I don't like smishing because it sounds cute and cuddly, and this is far from it. So you will get a text message, supposedly from an innocuous text message from a company you know about something that you're doing in your everyday life. Your package was shipped yesterday. Well, I've got packages coming in the whole time, so I may need to pay a small fee on this one. There's a link there to click on. It may be from a company you think you know. It may say, you know, your Apple ID, for example, needs looking at. So you will see something you recognise, it resonates, and there's a link. Now, that link, you must never, 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 it doesn't matter how much you think you know this company, if it's unsolicited, you do not click on that link, because that link takes you to a criminal's website. A criminal has got control of that. And they will start to ask you details. Your name, fill in these details. It might be a £1 fine to get that, or a fee to get that parcel. That's nothing. I want my parcel, quick, put in my bank details. If I lose £1, doesn't matter. That's not what's happening. They've got your bank details, they've got your phone number, now they've got your name. They then call you. You get a phone call.
Oh, my God, is that how they do it?
It's horrible. They are plausible.
Wow.
And you are very vulnerable. This is real manipulation here. You will get a phone call from someone who purports to be from your bank. Hi, there's been suspicious activity on your account. Be really careful. You need to pay attention. And actually, you think, oh, gosh, yes, I have just clicked on something. It could be dodgy. They said, don't worry, going to talk you through it. They're authoritative. They may even have ambient bank noise in the background. Sounds like they're in a bank. They know details about you. I want to talk about the account ending 883. Oh, yeah, well, that's my account. This is obviously my bank. In the meantime, another text comes up, really from your bank, saying, we've identified suspected fraud on your bank card. Reply Y if all the below transactions are yours, or N if any are not yours. The person on the other end of the phone says, yes, don't worry, we need to move your money to a safe place. That text is from us. Press Y for yes. It's fine, it's all under control. We are going to move your money, it will be safe. And from that point, you authorise that payment and you can do nothing. You sit back and you watch the money coming out.
I mean, a bank is never going to ask you to transfer, that they will transfer your money to somewhere safe.
No, they're not. No, they're not. But the sense of urgency and the authority that these people have.
The messaging, the phones, all the ducks in the row, you can see why you fall for it.
Really, really convincing, yes. And we get irritated by these security alerts. They come in. I was charging my car the other day. I was trying to spend £5 to put electricity into my car, and I got a fraud alert. And I was thinking, for God's sake, I just want to charge my car. I was irritated by it. The bank was trying to protect me, and I got irritated by it. You mustn't, because this is really, honestly, it's really hard. And as I said, 42% of that money will not come back.
Who are these people? Who's doing this?
Well, they could be individuals, they could be criminals, they could be call centre type environments. When they send that text message out, they might have SIM farms, they're called. SIM as in your SIM card. They will have farms, banks of SIM cards, sending out indiscriminate text messages, phishing messages to indiscriminate phone numbers, and just wait and see who follows. And you must not let it be you. So I was talking to the banks about how we can protect ourselves, and it's difficult. There is a voluntary code of conduct at the moment that says the banks have to give you your money back If you have been well and truly defrauded by criminals who've accessed your money through the banking system, they have to give you your money back. That's a voluntary code. Only 10 banks signed up to that voluntary code, which is not acceptable, which is why it's going to become law later in the year with the Financial Services Bill is passed. But it's absolutely impossible at the moment to stop those texts coming into you. You are the person who has to protect yourself and just make sure that you don't get to the next stage with your phishing. There's, as you said, 700% rise on this. 355 million pounds went out in the first half of last year. So there are things that happen. You know, there are payment matching codes that come up. So when you're paying somebody, the code comes up and you have to say, yes, that matches, but it's not consistent. And if you're on the phone to the criminal, then actually you're a dunner. But what's clever is the bank has all sorts of things going on in the background. There's something called behavioural dynamics. They know how you're holding your phone typically, how you press the keys.
How?
Are you using 2 thumbs? Are you using 1? I have no idea.
And why do they need to know that?
The banks
Why does the
have
bank
this.
need to know that?
Because when it changes, if the criminal gets this and it's boom, 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 that's different. This is a different pattern of behaviour. Flag, alert. And then you get we suspect fraudulent activity. So they are doing things, but this is called an authorised push payment.
If you get that there, how do you know that it's from your bank and they have really discovered that there is fraudulent activity?
I've never had a fraudulent text saying, we suspect fraudulent activity. That doesn't happen. The fraudulent text saying yes or no, the text saying yes or no is usually from the bank. You call your bank back. You never click on the link. Call your bank back. You can press, there is a number. I mean, how many years have I been in this game? There's a number you can call, 159. Call that, you will get straight through to the fraud reporting team on your bank. There are different options. Most banks are on there, some aren't. And you can get through to report it. Which issued a report yesterday saying that people were trying to report fraud and they were waiting on the phone for hours. Just calm everything down if anything happens to you and slow it down.
3 tips in the last
3 tips. Never click on a link that comes through from a text message. You never need to do that. Don't believe it if the bank call you. Treat it as suspicious. How many times did the bank genuinely call you? Call them back. Look up the number online, look at the back of your card and call the number afresh. Just tell that person, I'll call back. And lastly, just always think, if this is a fraud alert, I'm going to take this seriously. Slow everything down, there's no urgency. Believe them.
Alice, thank you
Okay.
very much. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Right, still to come, she's the queen of Hollywood's luxury housing market, but is Christine Quinn saying goodbye to selling Sunset? She will be joining us live right after your weather.